Welcome to the boss rush, which is on very hard, aka Lufenia. I don't know what they were thinking, but I can tell you what I was thinking. This is going to be a thorough breakdown because I lost my original audio. Also misplaced the video for like the 5+ days and just found it. So basically what's going down is we got Rude for the massive healing and battery plus auras. He gives us extra HP, which is it's gonna come in handy in a second, trust me. You see those small bombs? They are very, very aggressive. They go straight for HP attacks. With the addition of Reno's call, I can now exceed 11k a hit. Like I said, aggressive, very aggressive. We exceed 11k a hit. Her EX can do up to 300k plus if you set up properly. The LD can exceed 200k easily. We have the perfect single target focus. The only downside is no burst. Yup, no burst. I think it works out though. I like the team setup, it's pretty solid. She goes a million times, but all the damage is being completely focused on one target. Look at all that recovery. Starting with 42k, 100k, 100k. That's right, another 100k plus, 300k plus EX. All credit goes to Kurasme for being a god. As you can see, she almost got one-shotted. That's literally what they do every single turn. So if you don't have a way to survive, you're gonna die. I'm pretty sure counters at this point was very, very popular. It's either counters or just 100% rush down. In this case, I'm taking the rush because that's what I have. The only counter characters that I have that are relevant is Gao? Is it Gao? It's just Gao? That's it? I would say Cater, but the damage is not up to par. Which is very mind-boggling at this point. I don't think she ever did a lot, she just lasted a very long time. A lot of her damage came from the EX. In Gao's case, he's gonna tear you up. You better not hit anybody, he's gonna come for you. He comes with the heals, the damage, the enchant. Don't forget about his massive EX. And this massive launch. So that right there was a perfect setup. I like that. Because I took advantage of that. We got a fat launch. It was only 200k. I would have preferred like 300. In this case, Rude's EX, I mean, just take a look. How many times have I used this guy? This is why I use him. Flexibility. Perfect team synergy with just about everybody. Except for Dark Cecil. I'll get into that portion later, trust and believe. Now let me get into why I summoned this early. Pay attention to the turn spacing. Pay attention to her skills. The amount of LDs she has left. I would like to save some of that for the next wave since I do not have a burst. Also, we gotta let somebody else get hits in. See, he's got damage too, but she's hogging the spotlight. I think at some point I do press the wrong skills with her because I'm focused on the counter that has been added to the screen. I mean, even more clutter. How much worse can it get? We got Star Wars credits, gigantic HP, UI, summon auto button, messages on the screen, break bonus that takes up way too much screen real estate. In fact, everything takes up too much screen real estate. Yes, it sounds like I'm complaining, but it is a valid complaint, because it does influence how I play. If I'm distracted, it messes me up. I mess up, my performance sucks, okay? So it is relevant. At this point, 20 actions left. Every single thing takes an action. Now at this point, I'm just trying to get as much damage off before it hits 0. Once it hits 0, I have the option to switch to another party. In this case, I'm only going to use 2 parties. You can use up to 5, but I'm not using up to 5. It's not that serious. If I used up to 5, I might as well just quit. With the roster I have, it's like, what are you doing? Yes, these horses are at the Lufenia level, and if they touch you, they do sparklies, and if the sparklies hit you, it is a Darkra into a nuke, and you're probably going to die if you do not have enough life. Which is exactly why I'm spamming as hard as possible with lightning. It's that, and I only have about 14, 13 turns left, and I would like to do as much damage as possible, considering I do not have a burst. The time is kinda on the small side. At least she's doing a lot every single attack. That much I can appreciate. And at this point, I have 2 magical, sparkly Twilight horses to deal with that are going to nuke me. My only choice is to keep them split up, or just get nuked. I can take a hit from one of them and heal up. So it's not as bad as it looks. But preferably, I would like to not get hit. Getting hit just means I did something wrong. I've got lightning LDs, I've got lightning EX, there's no reason I should be getting hit. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I do get them to about a little over half HP. I do believe if I had her burst, I could definitely, without a doubt, take down the first 2 waves. The reason I'm saying that is, if I had saved my summon and had the burst and used those back to back on this wave while just going completely in on the first wave, I'd be okay. I don't need but 1 LD for this wave. 1 LD plus the 1 in the burst, and I'm set. You also have to factor in how busted her burst effect is. Oh my, I don't understand why that's not nerfed yet. It lasts way too long. But she goes a lot of times, so she needs one that lasts. It doesn't matter. The second you switch to anybody else that goes a million times, what's gonna happen? It gets abused. Meanwhile, everybody else's lasts for what, 4 turns? Come on now, really? In English, I could abuse it. And I would definitely kill both of them. I mean, look how far I got them with this setup. Really? You think I wouldn't at least kill both of them, if not get them very close? And that concludes it for the first party, my friends. Now, the second party right here, it's a little unorthodox. I was thinking about turn control, and it was like, yes, this is going to be the best team ever. But pay close attention to something. You see that E-sphere that Cloud has? That happens to be Setzer's E-sphere. That inflicts a debuff. Now pay attention to the amount of debuffs on the screen. Exactly. So if he inflicts his debuff, and then Cloud inflicts his debuff, and the only debuff that isn't framed is the one that he needs to do extra damage, I just gimped myself. Which is exactly what happened. Don't even ask how I overlooked this. I wasn't paying attention. I somehow still finished the stage. With that level of mistake, I should have completely failed. But the setup was clean enough to get me through this, thankfully. But I'm gonna say personally, I did not deserve the win. Not with that mistake. There is no excuse. Like I said, I was not paying attention because there's a lot going on this screen, and they just added something else. My eyes are completely focused on the counter. It's going to get even worse once we get to the last wave because that boss resists magic, so I'm really focusing on the counter. Now, Dark Cecil should be doing well over... I think he should be doing like 90 to 100 and 110k? Something like that. In terms of HP damage. He does hit pretty hard. In fact, he impressed me and I got his LD within 100 tickets, thankfully. I read the description and was like, hold up, let me see, he does what now? He's breaking what and delaying who and then going again? You mean I can delay them, break, and then go again to get a perfect setup? For my launch? Oh my god, it's like they completely fixed the character. That's exactly what they did. They fixed him and I had to go and ruin the setup with this. Again, my mistake. Thankfully, my fundamentals were good enough to get through this, otherwise I could have lost this wave very easily. If I did not notice what was going on, yeah. The damage was sadly already done. There was nothing I could do about it. I would have loved to fix it, but I'm not going to exit mid-match. I should have just removed it at the screen. But of course, the genius forgot to do that too. Now the second wave is very squishy. It's nothing special, it's just blow them up. The first wave is where all the strategy takes place. The second wave is, do I have enough to finish it? Do I want to extend with the second party? Those are the questions that you should be asking. In my case, like I was saying before, if I had the burst, I could probably take out both waves and then start with 50 actions with this team on the last wave. I mean, look who it is. If you just delay him, what is he gonna do to you? If you spam launches, what is he gonna do? He can't do anything. Especially if you bring in stuff like X-Death Call. Oh yeah, he's done. He's not gonna do any damage. He's gonna get sapped. But Amy's damage sucks because resistances, sadly. Oh yes, this is the point where I actually realized, like, wait a minute. Did I just do that? See, the damage is good right now. It's really good. Because he just went. That's what he should be doing every single hit. And should have been doing if I hadn't messed up. I'm gonna estimate around... Could I say 10 to 15? No, not 15. Did I mess up with lightning? I think I messed up twice. So that's 1, 2, all the mistakes from the previous wave. Yeah, I'm gonna say about 10 to 13 actions I could have had left. If I had the burst on lightning, oh yeah. Oh yeah, trust and believe, we would have had plenty of actions left. This should have taken only 15 minutes. I'm very sad that I messed this up. Because this is the easiest wave. All you do is you just attack him. They put 2 bosses on the screen for a reason. Because we could do stuff like this. He's completely defenseless. We're just playing dodgeball with him. I mean, he brings up his Lufenia orb way too late anyways. I think if they wanted to make him a true challenge, he should have started with it. But then that would have meant you had to use a dark character, and yeah, you don't necessarily have to. I'm just using it because look at the damage. My only concern here is Amy. She does not do a lot of damage, which means we have to pick up the slack. Cloud has to carry her. Dark Cecil has to carry her. But thankfully we get turn deletes, and she can battery us on her HP attack. That is the saving grace. And he gets back his skills after he presses EX, so we got infinite launches. I still got the summon. I can go into the burst whenever I feel like it. And at this point, I think now is the time to strike. Hold up, am I not gonna go for it? I should have went for it right there. This is dangerous, like, don't do this. I was about to say, I'm not that dumb, even though I did the sphere thing. Just excuse me. It is embarrassing. See, I anticipated the swipe. Now Cloud can go twice. Now that part was 100% calculated. I press FT to get my buffs back on, and then he goes right afterwards, which means we can set up a nice burst and then follow up with a summon. In fact, no, I don't. I go for it exactly, because we got 8 actions. I'm gonna clutch it out. I think I go to about 3 actions. That's right, because Amy's buff was about to go off. Get the momentum with Dark Cecil and then get a launch. Amy can throw an HP attack to get Cloud set up, and then Cloud can go into the burst. I'm a genius! Okay, now this part, I played correctly. That whole putting the sphere on him nonsense, I'm never gonna let that down. It may seem like a small mistake, but it killed a lot of my damage. I would have had no trouble at all doing damage with Dark Cecil if I would have kept his debuff on. But sadly, that's what killed the second wave. That is the only reason why this counter is this close to 0. I'm emphasizing that heavily because it almost made me lose the entire match, just from me not paying attention to that. Yes, that is a part of the breakdown, because if you can't realize what you did wrong, you're going to keep doing it again and again. So you need to be able to self-critique. And in this case, I made a really stupid mistake. Not proud of it, but hey, it worked out. Oh, there's the Lufenia Orb. Taking no damage, 2 parties, 2 actions left. Now here's where it gets super duper clutch, because I have to kill him the second I get out. Because I know this isn't enough damage output to completely finish him. It's gonna be close, but it's not gonna be right there. I think the last hit the second I get out the summon is what finishes it. And that gets us the victory. He's got 2 launches left. Godlike. Look at all that damage. Let's count it up. 364k. That is massive. Look, I promise you, if that was anybody but Amy, let's say for instance, if that was Keese. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Keese, Charlotta, just anybody else. We might have seen like a 500k launch. At least 450 to 500k? Definitely. Look at this last action. Last action, no LD. Boom! Kill him with the darkness. Now, what did we learn? Number 1, handle the first wave properly with rushdown or counters. Second wave, not a big deal. Third wave, also not a big deal. Last but not least, don't make stupid mistakes like me, and you should be fine. It wasn't that difficult. It's just handling the first wave, transitioning into the second, and the third, pushover.